Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the How to Publish Your RPG show, the show in which I give you my insights as a publisher about how to go if you want to publish your role-playing game, which I very much recommend you try. At the very least, go through the motions of publishing it because it's a truly fascinating process. And today I want to talk to you about a very crucial aspect of publishing role-playing games, and it is dealing with reviews. Firstly, there are for me 4 types of review, give or take, which are the positive review, which is the one in which everybody, they like your product very much and it's great and so on and so forth. That's the one we like. There is the meh review, in which is a bit meh, but meh. Then there is the negative review, which is where the person actually didn't like it. And then there's the bad review, which is when somebody just goes to obliterate your work because they can. And that is the kind of review that you just have to do and ignore completely. Finding out about the other 3, though, is very, very important. The super positive review you can take as an ego massage, but don't fall for it, because that's somebody who actually loves you, evidently likes your work an awful lot. But what you need to wonder is, what are you going to learn from it? Because if you don't have anything to get out of it that you can take into your next product to make it even better, or to this one that you just published and improve it, then it's a beautiful thing to have, but it doesn't really have that many practical issues. The meh review is the review to me that says, well, this thing has some very good things and this thing has very bad things, and it falls a little bit left me indifferent. Okay, find out what is the things that could be improved are and build it up. The likelihood is that the person who wrote that review is just not getting enthused or interested in the overall topic. And that's fine. Not every reviewer is going to like everything to the same extent. If I have to review, as I've done in the past, especially with board games, an Euro board game, or I have to review an Ameritrash board game, the likelihood is that I am going to go more for the Ameritrash and be a little bit more complimentary because I like them better. So there is always a bias. The negative review, that's the one to pay the most attention to, because they are the ones who are actually going to point out where the real flaws are. Now, don't get me wrong, they can be painful to read. Okay, I've received today, in fact, a negative review of Campo de Mitas, and it's painful to read. But if there are some points well made, well, then you have to swallow the hard pill and try to do better for the next one. That's it. You may agree or may not agree with everything the reviewer is saying, and engaging in polite conversation is always a good idea. Just let them know, you did this because you thought that this would be the best way to do it. Or you didn't do this because it's not something that you're used to doing or you enjoy, or maybe they missed some things. It happens sometimes, reviewers are not infallible, and they may miss on some aspects of whatever it is that you have written that completely passed them by. But if it has passed them by, well, maybe you should make a little bit more of emphasis on the matter. But it's always important to pay attention as to how to deal with it. Well, however best you can. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if it's going to affect you so badly, then my advice would be ask someone you trust who is not going to be affected that badly about it to read it for you. Get that person to distill the bits that you can take on board to do better in the future and avoid yourself the heartache. Because reviewers are important. Reviews are truly, truly important. They are necessary. It is pretty much the only way we have, whatever format that review comes in, for us to improve on our work. As to how to deal with it, ask somebody to read the review for you if you think that's going to bring you down. In the video for our Patreons, I'm going to talk a lot more about how to deal with a bad review, a negative review of your project and your product, and how to go about talking to the reviewer, what things to take on, what things not to take on board. And yes, it will be done based on my Campo de Vito's review, which is actually a very good review for what I'm talking about. So please do join us in our Patreon, which will be absolutely great. Other than that, please leave your comments down there. Always as very, very welcome. And I will be talking to you very, very soon. Take care.